often do see those 4-man rotation groups between the two, but the name of the game is about controlling those shrines. If you have control of both of them, you can channel one hero to become the Dragon Knight, a great siege pushing device. So you need to always keep that in mind.
All right, well, our first ban goes to Murloc Geniuses, and they take out Kael'thas. What do you have to say about that, Kubi?
Kael'thas, they're really just recognizing that is a huge damage output. It's really a hero that's only played so much in the North American meta. Around the world, not as much, but they're continuing to take out that Tyrande as well. They recognize once more, they know Murloc Geniuses likes the melee assassin, and she just pairs so well with the Hunter's Mark, the Lunar Flare. Everything is just made to work with melee assassin.
Tyrande also very popular in the North American scene.
Yes,
plenty
absolutely.
of teams. The stun so strong, really able to disable, then get in there and engage. But for Murloc Geniuses, getting the first hero pick, they're going with Jaina.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting because, again, this leaves one of the strongest solo laners in Leoric, and it leaves, of course, Zeratul.
They have to have a better strategy going into this than what we just saw. It was a close game, don't get me wrong, but Zeratul really made some amazing plays, backed up by the rest of the team, of course, and it's always going to be about that. And they're not even taking it once more. They're just going to let Murloc Geniuses play it again. This is almost a slap in the face saying, we don't think you can play Zeratul. We'll make sure that we get these stronger picks.
Yeah, we're already seeing the meta here at this tournament developing, right?
Yeah.
People are not really focusing on Zeratul at all. He's not a primary concern. You know, Artos and I, we both cast in Korea where Zeratul is like banned 80% of the time.
Oh, yeah.
The first time. But instead, it's going to be Uther, support, and Leoric, a warrior.
Well, you know, Uther is considered the best support in the game, and Leoric, one of the greatest solo laners, one of the strongest warriors that we have here.
Yep. So we're going to be following this up with a Johanna and a Zagara pick. Zagara is, we talked about having those strong solo laners, very likely to be that Leoric Zagara matchup in the top lane for that Dragon Shrine. In the ban phase, we're moving into it. Rexxar is taken out. That's something I didn't expect to see.
I didn't expect to see that either. Rexxar, our newest hero here in Heroes of the Storm.
Here's what's funny about that. I thought we might see Rexxar picked. I didn't think we were going to see him banned.
They didn't even show it yet. They haven't shown the strategy, but they're still respecting the possibility for it.
I think they just don't want to be caught off guard here by anything. You know, Rexxar has only been out for about a week and a half now, so they may not have that much practice against him. So, hey, they won that first game strongly. Why not just remove him here and make sure they don't get caught off guard?
I do like the Zagara pick. Zagara is just so strong. Zagara also functioning a lot like Zeratul there, who's also just now been banned. But Zagara, having her out there, the Maw able to catch, it's really quite strong for controlling a crowd.
Really, really good points, Nick. Moving into this Tempo Storm, picking up Kerrigan. I cannot stress how rare this is for Tempo Storm. The only melee assassin they will ever play is Zeratul. They have this paired up with Uther. Divine Shield goes a long way to make sure that Kerrigan can get into the fight with that Maelstrom, get a lot of value out of that. This is something new from Tempo Storm.
Oh, that's really exciting then. Do you think that Zuna is going to go ahead and take Kerrigan?
I would have to think so, yeah.
Kerrigan is going to be a big focus here when getting in and getting into that engage. They also, Kerrigan able to just keep a player stuck there for a while.
All right, we have Rhaegar and Illidan coming up now as the last two picks here from Murloc Geniuses. I'm really surprised to see Illidan picked up.
Yeah, Illidan, no Abathur to back that up, and Rhaegar, it's going to make that very difficult. The Ancestral Heals have to be on point. Illidan is about getting in, making sure that he can stay alive, be a nuisance, and really just block out the enemy team, making sure he can get a lot of auto attacks in. But if you don't have that Divine Shield, the Abathur hat, it makes things tricky. I think it's a very interesting pick, though.
Yeah, it's funny, when Illidan was first very popular, yeah, you're right, it was always that Abathur combo. And then for a little while, a lot of people were saying that Illidan was just bunk. But apparently not. Apparently when everything's on the line, they're going to go for it.
All right, well, he was picked up in the last pick for Tempo Storm, going to be Arthas. A double tank composition.
Double warrior composition for Tempo Storm. They're also running a melee assassin, so they have clearly been practicing new strategies, understanding that, you know, we can run this triple range, but if teams figure this out, figure out how to play against it, that's going to put us in a bad spot. So this clearly shows that they have done their homework going into this series today.
You know what's so cool about this is this game is so new. We don't really understand it yet. Like, we're all learning it, we're seeing it develop, but you know, things are changing very quickly with you know, what teams are good, who's picked, who's banned, and of course the meta, and then the new maps coming out. So it's really exciting to see this develop, and I think we're going to be learning a lot here at this tournament about how exactly the current state, the current understanding of Heroes of the Storm ends. Anyways, we're going to be going now into game number 1. Let's get loud, let's get hype. This is game number 2. Tempo Storm against Murloc Geniuses.
All right, here we go, guys. On Tempo Storm, we have Zuna using Kerrigan, Soldier on Leoric, Arthalon on Arthas, KO on Bala, and Dreadnought going to be taking up Uther. Over on the Murloc Geniuses side of the map, we have Equinox taking up Illidan, Mad Timmy here on Rhaegar, Faye on Jaina, Kath on Luck once again on Zagara, and Fury on Joanna.
Coming up here into the top center. This is a good location to set up for an ambush. And an ambush is exactly where we're going to get. Tuna getting solo. It looks like she might not be able to get out in time, and she does go down.
Kerrigan does fall almost immediately. Jaina falls as well, starting to chase out Illidan. Illidan does get out of there and backs up. And it looks like that is just going to be a one-for-one trade.
And now we see a quick rotation down here into the center lane. We have Zagara over there at the top lane. Nobody's soaking experience at the bottom lane, but since, like I said, nobody's down there, it's not like anybody's really at a disadvantage at this point in time with experience.
Yeah, that is true. You know, those little scuffles, they can look big and look like they mean a lot, but I think a lot of it is just getting inside the other team's head by winning them. They're not going to be that far behind right now.
Coming up here now is Tempo Storm, pushing back Murloc Geniuses. They are going to have center control there. Now remember, the map objectives here, there's the top shrine and the bottom shrine. If you control the top shrine, which we see up here, and keep control of that, as well as controlling the bottom shrine, then you get to enter into and become the Dragon Knight. The Dragon Knight, very powerful for pushing lanes. Definitely you want to try to deny your opponents from getting that, and most importantly, you want to get that map objective and push that lane.
That's right. It's really hard to get the Dragon Knight, but once you get him, he can take down buildings, he can fight one-on-one against heroes. Definitely a very strong map objective. So we're going to see a lot of rotations like Kubi was talking about before on this map.
Yeah, rotations are absolutely key on this map. Shrine control right now. North Shrine going to the red Murloc Geniuses. Bottom Shrine going to the blue Tempo Storm team. And meanwhile, speaking of Tempo Storm, Arthas trying to escape here, and a beautiful catch there. Wonderful body blocking there from Illidan, but did I speak too soon? Illidan now taking a lot of damage, and it's going to be a counterattack here as Kerrigan now on the run.
It looks like Dreadnought going to go ahead, throw all his heals down onto Kerrigan there. So she will end up living, but definitely a lot of damage put down, and has to tap that well.
You got to be careful. You know, you tap that well, you have a little while before you can tap it again. Otherwise, you have to Hearthstone back to heal up. So a lot of timing here. You really don't want to take any damage that's unnecessary. Speaking of which, we do have a retreat here by Mad Timmy.
Yeah, gonna have to back up. A lot of rotations coming out of Tempo Storm right now, and look at this, a nice jump in there by Kerrigan, Leoric on as well, and it looks like right now Fury is going to go down.
Pretty nice play there, actually taking it at Johanna. That's never an easy takedown. Meanwhile, Illidan over here going to destroy this bruiser camp, allowing a strong push to come out of that.
You know, I absolutely love the way that Tempo Storm is playing this game. They're mostly using Arthas up top to clear the creep of Zagara, to solo that lane a bit, and then rotating with the rest. Kerrigan, definitely one of the best heroes for running around the map early game and getting a lot of takedowns.
Yeah, she's very, very strong. By the way, top shrine now going over here to the blue team, Team Tempo Storm. Bottom shrine now going to Murloc Geniuses. Not clear if Murloc Geniuses will be able to reclaim that top shrine for a little bit. I don't know if Zagara can really get up there. But we do see some of Tempo Storm coming down here. Now notice an ambush set up here in the bushes. Tempo Storm really interested not just in controlling the lanes, getting the mercenary camps, but they're very good when they rotate into getting into a good spot to possibly trap and punish the opposing team.
Yeah, very well said, and that's something we see a lot on this map. But right now we do have a fight going down. Illidan jumping on top of Arthas here. Arthas taking lots and lots of damage, but dealing that damage as well. Arthas does end up falling. Illidan gonna have to run out of here. Kerrigan in the meantime taking lots of damage. We do see Fury coming up, but isn't able to finish him off.
Very nice push there by Murloc Geniuses. A good escape there by the Leoric there for Tempo Storm. As they're going to let that bruiser lane push in just a little bit more. They have not reclaimed the top shrine just yet, but it looks like Jaina's now rotating up there. Meanwhile, we might have an engagement over here. No, Dread goes ahead and heads into the center now. As we are probably going to see Tempo Storm try to deny the dragon here in the middle if they can't reclaim a shrine.
Yeah, it looks like they did send Vala down south, so they do have that shrine now. That's going to be fine. No Dragon Knight going to be taken for Murloc Geniuses quite yet.
Yeah, and this is not uncommon. When you get to very high-level games, it's pretty tough to actually have one team get the Dragon early on, unless there's an incredible punish. And right now, I think these guys, even though Tempo Storm being the favorite, they seem pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, I definitely would have to agree with you there, Tasteless. It's definitely a very close game here still. But I do love the way that Tempo Storm is controlling this middle area. It makes their rotations so quickly. They are switching lanes left and right, and there's not a lot that Murloc Geniuses can do to stop them.
Yeah, Murloc Genius is really on the defense. Important to note, by the way, if you lose the forts in the front lane here, no matter what team you are, you really don't have enough vision to get out there and try to get those shrines as easily. So the first line of defense on this map especially, very, very important.
Well, right now we do see a lot of big moves here. We have Murloc Geniuses pushing in this top lane very strongly with the help of Zagara actually jumping on top of Arthas right now. Arthas trying to get out of there. Illidan chasing. They're going pretty deep behind this fort right now, and Leoric rotating up to help.
What if that was a bit of an overextension there by Murloc Geniuses, but a beautiful play. I want to highlight what he did there, actually jumping over that wall. That's why a lot of times when there's an Illidan player in the game, they don't always destroy the wall so he can actually get over there.
Oh, and look at that, a great dodge on Kerrigan's pull in there by Illidan. He does get out of there alive. Looked like he might have gone down, but, you know, Tempo Storm keeping them on their toes. Murloc Geniuses, though, a little bit too quick to get taken down.
And we have a rotation over here coming now down into the middle lane. It is actually Tempo Storm that has the shrine. They are also going for the Bruiser Camp at the same time. I hope they're not biting off more than they can chew here.
Well, right now we do see, oh man, Kerrigan getting taken down in a matter of seconds. Nice move there by Murloc Geniuses. This should buy them enough time to easily capture one of these shrines and prevent the Dragon Knight from going to Tempo Storm.
Interesting to see Tempo Storm actually go for that. I guess seeing that the opposing team, Murloc Geniuses, was closer to level 10, they knew they probably wouldn't be able to actually get or win the skirmish over the Dragon Knight, so instead they went for the Bruiser Camp and disguised that by having two of their other players over there in the center. Meanwhile, by the way, at the top, the shrine that tended to be acquired here, it looks like both taken out very quickly there. Nicely done there by Murloc Geniuses. Definitely going to get control of the top shrine.
Just a fantastic move with that heroic stun there from Joanna to take him out. So it looks like right now we do actually have Uther getting trapped here for a moment, and it looks like Zagara gonna get in that Dragon Knight and start pushing.
So we're gonna have a strong push. It's Murloc Geniuses that gets the Dragon Knight first. Meanwhile, we have Uther just trying to run away here. Arthas getting so low. Arthas is gonna for sure be taken down. It looks like Arthas still running out right now, though. I spoke too soon.
The healing here on Arthas is absolutely insane, but finally Arthas does get taken out, and it looks like we will have Uther taken out as well.
And this is going to be the top lane right now is going to be very softened up here for Tempo Storm. There's just not much they can do to defend there with 3 heroes taken down. Dragon Knight still with about 20 seconds remaining at 25% health. They can definitely still do a little bit more damage. They'll probably rotate down here into the middle and just see what else they could possibly eke out to continue this lead.
You know, a really great play here by Murloc Geniuses, but it's truly impressive how Tempo Storm just stays alive during all of this. How long Arthas survived there, for instance, buying time, but looks like Kerrigan getting attacked right now. We do have Uther trying to save her.
And coming up here, they've actually activated the Siege Giants. Meanwhile, it looks like Illidan just trying to back out. Now, very low on HP. That will be an interesting trade there, as now they're going to have to give up that mercenary camp on the territory, I should say, for Tempo Storm. Very nice capture there by them, as they're going to have a strong push in the bottom lane.
All right, well, it looks like Unlock going to go ahead and clean up this lane as best he can. We do have 4 Tempo Storm players down here. Might be going out to take out this mercenary camp, get these bruisers, and help push through that fort on the bottom.
And I like this quick grab down here, just realizing that that lane was pushing enough and these Siege Giants were just enough of a distraction. This is what you do when you want to get a lead. If you see the small thing they have to focus on, you already jump to the next thing to keep them juggling all those tasks while you control the map.
Well, right now we do have Unlock going ahead, laying a creep tumor at that siege camp. Wants to keep an eye on it. In the meantime, Tempo Storm erasing those siege giants, pushing forward right now with these bruisers, and that's going to force a rotation down by Murloc Geniuses, which will give Tempo Storm time to go elsewhere.
Yeah, Tempo Storm looks like heading a little bit northbound here, and going to try to push in this lane as well. Note, all the mercenary camps on the map at this point in time have been captured, so now it's really just about lane control and setting up an ambush.
That's right, and when that Dragon Shire comes up, those Dragon Shrines, they're going to have to try to grab those, but right now we have the fort being taken down on the bottom. Nice move here by the Murloc Geniuses.
Murloc Geniuses is not giving up without a huge fight here. They're doing absolutely beautifully here in this game, as both bottom lane and top lane have lost their forts.
All right, well, you know, Murloc Geniuses, no doubt, is in a lead here. Level 14 against level 12. They're up by a couple of forts, which is absolutely gigantic, and they've gained control of the center of the map. Early on, we saw Tempo Storm controlling that area, rotating very quickly, but now they're kind of in the dark. They don't know where their opponents are, so they have to be much more careful.
Yeah, it's a huge problem, man, and it's something they're going to have to try to engineer some kind of solution for. But meanwhile, Dread actually taking a lot of damage, and it looks like it might not be able to get out in time. Yeah. All right, using that heroic ability, but of course when you use the heroic ability and you get out, you can't use that for a little while, which means that another advantage here for Murloc Geniuses is they just have more opportunities if they do get into battle in about the next 60 seconds.
And that's really, really important because you need that Divine Shield to go on Kerrigan. If you force Uther to use it on himself, that makes Kerrigan a lot weaker in the next battle. So this is great. That's the second time that Murloc Geniuses has forced Tempo Storm's Dreadnought to use it on himself.
Now hold on here. Tempo Storm has both shrines. The question is, can they get to the Dragon Knight? We do see that right now Murloc Genius is not as interested in actually going and getting that top shrine. Just going to have one of their heroes, Johanna, go down and capture the bottom while they had an ambush set up over there. But Tempo Storm did not bite the bait. They had the shrines, but they didn't get too eager. They did not overextend.
Yeah, you know, I really like these moves that they do. They capture those shrines, realize, oh, we can't quite get the Dragon Knight in time, so let's just go ahead and grab that Bruiser Camp. It's working out well for them, but right now we have Murloc Geniuses rotating up, going for this attack. We have a nice Metamorphosis there right on top of the team, and it looks like Illidan dealing a lot of damage.
And we have a takedown here, and it looks like we might have a second as Johanna's getting very low. Johanna now taken down. Tempo Storm playing beautifully right now. Kerrigan, or Illidan rather, on the run.
Oh, and a beautiful move there by Arthas getting that Divine Shield. Oh, and we have Zagara going down as well. Only Jaina left over, which means Tempo Storm killed 4 for 0.
4 for 0 and level 15. Forget about the lead there that we were talking about for Murloc Geniuses. There's a lot of room right now for Tempo Storm to then seize this game and begin a comeback.
That's right, we have Arthas in the bottom, taking this bottom shrine, and it looks like, you know, there's no way to stop this. They are going to get the Dragon Knight and start pushing through the center.
This is the Tempo Storm we've seen since game 1 here. Even when they're not in the lead at the start, they managed to get a very strong grasp on the game as it continues to get further and further along. And of course, the longer a hero's game goes on, the much more you can be punished for mistakes.
All right, well, right now we do see them trying to hit all of these forts at the same time, kind of poking all over the place, seeing where their opponents are at. Right now we have KO inside that Dragon Knight, trying to push in the middle, and Soldier up here on Leoric trying to hit this top fort as well.
I really like the cautious play there by the Dragon Knight. The Dragon Knight keeping a distance. This is very different from when I play on Battle.net solo queue and the Dragon Knight just runs in there and dies. But you can really see the teamwork here from Tempo Storm as they're doing a fantastic job. And they're really testing the waters here. They're really doing a great job of not overextending here, of keeping this Dragon Knight around for a little while and keeping Murloc Geniuses up on the ropes.
And you know, I have to say, actually, Murloc Geniuses is doing a pretty good job against this. This is hard to play against. But they continue to rotate, they continue to keep all 3 forts alive, which is very impressive for this late into the game.
It looks like Dragon Knight now being chased back here, but notice there is a setup here. Coming out of the bushes is Arthas now, and it looks like Fury may be surrounded, but of course that is Johanna, so not a lot of damage can be done to that. Heroic form here, and Mog coming down as a re-engage from Murloc Geniuses.
And it looks like Illidan getting healed up so well. A beautiful shield there on Johanna. It looks like they do keep Leoric alive for a bit. Does fall down though. KO running away with Vala, but Illidan has something to say about that. Going after him. Nice heals by Uther's Ghost, but finally KO goes down.
Beautiful play there. A little bit of back and forth there, but after they activated that mob, they really managed to dissect the team and then take them out. And we're going to have a very strong push through the bottom lane. By the way, bottom lane, one of the more important lanes on this map because it is so open. It is much easier to push in after you do get a team kill.
Well, it looks like right now they are going to go ahead and be able to grab that fort. In the meantime, Leoric just going 1-on-5 right now, showing just how powerful he is. We have Arthas coming down to join as well. Murloc Geniuses with lots of damage on them decide, they have to run.
Got to be careful. Jaina was in the back there. We have a heal there on Jaina. Johanna trying to get in the way right now. Johanna very good for body blocking in situations like this, but Leoric and Arthas still in pursuit.
Well, it looks like they have gotten out of there with their lives intact, and they took down the keep. That is so important. When you get a keep taken out, you get catapults in that lane, as you can see right here. They are very powerful and help you to push through your enemy's waves quite quickly.
And that means any lane unattended is going to be a lane that you're losing if those catapults are pushing towards your core. Now we do have some more mercenary camps respawning, and so immediately recapturing is Murloc Geniuses over here in the upper right. Down here in the south center, Tempo Storm now taking a Murloc, excuse me, not a Murloc camp, a Bruiser camp down here.
I wish they were Murloc
I wish
camps.
they were Murloc camps. Taking out that camp, and that's going to be a strong counter push into the bottom lane. But again, you know, the infrastructure here for Murloc Geniuses is so strong. I think even if Murloc Geniuses lost almost their entire team, Tempo Storm still wouldn't be able to win the game immediately. And especially when you're this high in level, a lot of times it's your team gets killed and they just go right to the core.
That's true. And if Tempo Storm does all go down, Murloc Geniuses may be able to do that, but Tempo Storm is going to have to gain some ground here. They need to take out some forts. They need to try to take out a keep also. But Murloc Geniuses is just not having any of it.
Down here, Leoric is getting very low. Leoric actually with March of the Black King coming back in to try to re-engage. The team though, Murloc Geniuses a bit separated. Not clear who's actually going to take this. Arthas still continuing to push it.
Oh,
beautiful ancestral there by on the Zagara. But now Mad Timmy is going to be the one sacrificed. Murloc Geniuses losing 3 heroes. Only Jaina and Zagara remain, and that's not really a combo that can engage you know, any 2 heroes that they got right now for Tempo Storm. So, I mean, they're going to have to retract, go back to their base, play the defense.
Well, that was definitely the type of battle that Tempo Storm needed. The levels are tied up. Both teams very close to 20. 20, of course, where you get those Storm talents. A very important level.
And here we go. We have the Dragon Knight now taken, and we're going to see another push in here. Last push of the Dragon Knight, not so successful. This one should be a little bit stronger as Tempo Storm now has that heroic ability, as well as the fact that there's still the death timer ticking right now for Murloc Geniuses. They can't come back in the game. Just Jaina and Zagara spamming out projectiles to try to delay this push.
Well, right now we do have a big push into the center here by the Dragon Knight. Still 2 heroes down for Murloc Geniuses. Looks like they should be able to take out this center keep, and that's a big deal. That's the quickest way to run to your opponent's core to take them down. So Tempo Storm has really made up for everything in these last couple minutes.
Yeah, I really like this rotation down here. Now, the only thing remaining once this first form of infrastructure, the fort, is destroyed, is going to be the top lane. But Dragon Knight's still 30 seconds remaining, 46% health. They still got a while to try to milk out some more damage with this.
Well, we see right now KO sitting there as bait. Everyone coming in to attack that Dragon Knight, and Tempo Storm coming in now. Kerrigan a little bit far behind. Not sure if they're going to actually fully engage here, but they are continuing to push and poke.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job here. Murloc Geniuses has got to be kicking themselves right now. Now, even though that was a great play by Tempo Storm, let's not forget that there's still a much weaker defense back there at Tempo Storm's base. So right now, the best offense probably is the good defense.
Well, right now we have Zuna actually jumping in there, taking a lot of damage, busting that Maelstrom and getting invulnerable. Going after Zagara right now. Zagara does use Bolt of the Storm to get out of there. In the meantime, Illidan grabbing his Metamorphosis and jumping in on top of Leoric and Arthas.
Johanna with a condemn there, pulling them in and then backing right out. A Maw there, but only capturing one hero right now, and that was Leoric. Leoric now trying to come back in here and bash down the gates, but Jaina pouring down the blizzards, a lot of damage. Beautiful ancestral.
That ancestral on Illidan, so big. Illidan still alive in this battle, still pushing forward right now, going after Leoric. Leoric trying to Wraith Walk out of here, but will he go down?
And you can see Leoric trying to just stall time, just trying to buy some time, but the inevitable is coming. The march of Murloc Geniuses headed to the left side of the map. Right now, Tempo Storm has to defend the core. The question is, can they?
I don't think that they can, Tasteless. It looks like Zuna back here on Kerrigan, the only one that is up right now. We do have others reviving. We do have Uther coming, but this should not be enough. They have a lot of time to try to take them down.
Looks like Kerrigan's going to try to defend, try to distract, but is it going to be enough here? We see them hitting the core right now. Illidan going to go ahead and back out.
Uh-oh, it looks like right now it might be turning. Tempo Storm is holding off the Murlocs, and it looks like they may all end up falling.
As you can see, Johanna solo, just trying to get away.
Oh, indestructible, being popped right there. But Fury not going to make it out of here alive, running back in, buying time for his teammates. But only Jaina is left up for Murloc Geniuses.
Dude, that was absolutely insane how long he stayed alive. So now, that was actually a really good play because he bought a lot of time, right? As long as they're chasing that hero around, they're not actually headed towards the course. So that was a really good play just to kind of make them waste their time. But right now, I'm seeing Tempo Storm headed over here to the court. I just don't see much defense.
No, it looks like they should be able to take this out, popping all their heroics as much as they can. They are going after this core, and it looks like this core should be going down.
It's been a back and forth game, but losing this core will be what decides victory. And that